Okay, welcome. I'm DJ Michael Joseph, and you have tuned in to Music and Mixing, my weekly show where we do a little bit of DJ education. This show is mainly tailored towards the mixed DJ, but we do a little bit of everything, and tonight I think is going to be a good topic. Seeing who is in the chat, probably thinking people are going to get started late tonight getting in here, so kind of want to wait and see who's there. We got some people on all the different platforms tuning in. John Colley, what's going on? Audio sounds doubled. Audio sounds doubled. Do I need to mute? Hold on. I think I need to mute something. Okay, that's muted. That's not even on. Still sounding doubled? John? I have no idea what that could be. There's only one mic on. Let me know if it's fixed or not. People saying hi. Just make sure. Let me know if John says it sounds doubled. Let me know if it is or isn't, please, before we get started here. I don't know what I can do if it is because I only have one mic on, and that's it. Nothing else is live. So we're waiting for everybody to come into the chat, saying hello to Trevor, saying hello to whoever else is in the chat. Feel free to jump in. We are also on my Facebook tonight. I was not able to check sound tonight to tell what is what, so please let me know what's going on. Should be on everything tonight. A lot of good stuff going on. Just seeing who's there. Are we freezing again tonight? Is that what's going on? It looks like we're freezing again tonight. Froze frame. Let me know if that helps out any at all. I don't want to deal with this again. If we're going to freeze up and do what we did last week, I'll completely shut everything down. I'll say screw it. But let me know how everything's going. Dawn says it sounds good. Thank you for John. Thank you, Joe Bass, for tuning in. Again, let me know if we're freezing, if we're doing anything like that. I need to hear from you guys because I have no way to check right now. DJ Electric Rain says it sound works. Pete says it might be mine, but my face is frozen. Or is that your wish, Pete, that my face is frozen? Someone else in the chat, let me know if we're doing any chattering, stuttering, freezing, any of that kind of stuff tonight. Last week we had some trouble stuttering again from Pete. Somebody else. Slow frames again. I have no idea why this is doing this. Last week, about halfway through the night, it cleared up. Again, I have no idea. I'm in the green here. I'm completely in the green on this size. Somebody says it's frozen on Facebook too. Again, I have no idea why this is doing this. We had this trouble last week. If I have this trouble again, I'm killing it. I'm not even going to mess around. It was just a bad show last week. I don't know why it's doing this, why it's giving me so much trouble. I have every single thing shut off that can possibly be shut off. I have no idea why it's doing that. So let me know if it gets any better. Like I said, we're only going to a couple minutes here. If it's still freezing, I'm saying screw it. Because last week I said, I think we had a bad show last week because of it. It kept freezing and you couldn't see anything. You'd hear me, but it kept freezing and stuff. And there's just nothing worth watching that. DJ Dawn says it's no phrasing here. Someone else says slow framing here. Either I am or I'm not freezing. One of the two. I kind of need you guys to let me know. Said video is very choppy. That was what was happening last week. Again, if we can't get it going on, like I said, I'm killing it for this week. So, I'm just saying screw it. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Give me a second. I give it about 10 seconds. We'll see if it comes back. I had something else running in the background I did not realize was running in the background. So let me know if that kind of helps it out there. That probably should help it out a lot right there. I think that should. If not, I don't know. Like I said, if not, we're killing it. As opposed to, like I said, I think we had a good topic last week, but I mean, nobody wants to watch a video that just keeps starting and stopping like that and looking like I'm Max Headroom stuck in the past. But I thought we had a good topic this week. You know how it is, everybody. I just did a little change. We'll see if that change did it. As for me watching, I mean, I can't tell what it is. So I have to go on you guys. John sounds the video is laggy. Refresh and see if it does anything. Like I said, I have nothing else I can do on this end. Nothing whatsoever to make it better. I have absolutely nothing I can do on this. Let me try one more thing. We did have this problem last week. If you're tuning in, I apologize. It's 2 weeks in a row that we've had a problem. We've never had that problem before. I mean, I would say never, but rarely is that something that we have a problem of. But let me try one more thing. See if that helps. And that helps. All right, so now let's give it one more try. We are at a couple minutes after, and we're going to see what's going on here. I can't tell anything that's going on. We have a few people watching both on Facebook and other stuff. Audio is perfect, much better, Max. That's 2 times better. How about everybody else? Someone who's watching on YouTube. Pete's watching on Facebook, so we're checking out on Facebook. Anybody watching on YouTube, how is the thing on YouTube now? Now, like I said, if it's not better, then we're killing it. I'll do it another night. No change on your end. Gus, do a restart. Do a refresh on the page. Like I said, I have no idea. I do my weekly things, and everything's fine. But this is the second time I've done thing for the Disc Jockey News channel that I've had a problem. Last week, with my DJ mix, everything was fine. And I had a problem last week with the Disc Jockey News thing. Gus says it's good now. Everybody else, are we good? Can we move on? I'm not going to limit the show tonight like last week where we do the half hour, because I think this is too important. Tonight's thing, studio, I only put 2 direct Ethernet ports in here, and the rest of it's Wi-Fi. So when I do any of the broadcasting, I'm doing them off the hard wiring Ethernet. So I think there's some problems with some of the wires that I'm constantly swapping out from the studio computer to the DJ computer and all that kind of stuff. So awesome. So we got people from all over the place. I appreciate that tonight. I think it's going to be a good show. If you read the title, it's kind of interesting, and I think it requires some explaining. The title, for those of you who did not read it, it was "I Never Planned on Being a DJ," and that's absolutely 100% true. The path that has taken me to where I'm at now was very strange and long, and I kind of want to talk about it with you guys tonight, because as the field ahead of us in the DJ world changes, we need to rethink a little bit about where we're going, where we're from. This, to me, all sparked off last week when I was watching. If any of you guys watch the Mike D's podcast, they have guests on all the stuff, and one of the guests was talking about how that in the beginning of the COVID, he started panicking. What's he going to do? My job has ended. I don't have any income, all this stuff. And he kind of ended up listening to someone who was doing a seminar that had nothing to do with DJing whatsoever. And the person was talking about the fact that, do you have a roof over your head? Do you have food on the table? Do you have heat or in the house? Is everyone healthy? That's where you need to start from. And he said he decided to stop at that point and stop freaking out and started looking at his life going, okay, I may not be doing what I'm used to be doing, and I'm in the future may not be doing what I did in the past, but I got to realize right now, I'm alive. My family's alive. My kids are alive. They have food on the table. I have a roof over my head. And he said, so he kind of changed his attitude a little bit to where he even decided, well, I'm going to start taking this time as a sabbatical. He said that he worked with some people from Nike, and I guess it's a thing in the Nike company that every 10 years, if you're an employee for 10 years, you take a 6-month sabbatical. Everybody in the Nike just does that, and it's about refreshing yourself and getting to know things. And he decided, well, I'm going to take this time as my sabbatical. So he decided that he was going to do run 1 mile every day, and that's what he wanted to do. Is he said, I'm just going to get up, what time of day it is, I'm just going to go run a mile, just to do something, and he said he's been, I think it's over 1,000 days now, he's ran 1 mile a day. Another person heard him doing that. They joined in. They have skipped like 1 day in all that time that they're doing it, and they just kind of have taken this time to kind of rebuild themselves. And it made me start to think about my DJ career and where I was at, and how that, he panicked and went bananas about the DJ career, and I didn't so much, because I never planned on being a DJ. In my past, all the things I've done, whether it be stage work, I was a vocal artist. I put out 12 albums in my lifetime. I did production work. I danced for dance companies. I did TV commercials for dancing. I did TV spots, extras on shows, all that kind of stuff. And DJing was always the thing that I did to make money. It was the afterthought to all of this, going, I can do this. People keep hiring me. I'm going to keep going. This is what I'm going to do to make money. And that's where I am right now, as I still look at this and going, I never planned to be where I'm at. I was talking to a friend last night about the fact that it doesn't matter. You can sit and plan forever and ever and ever. Hold on here. People are sending me messages. There we go. You can start planning, but we never know the future. You don't know what's going to happen. And that was one of the things in my path amongst this, was the fact that this wasn't supposed to be my full-time job. Up until, it'll be in November, 9 years that I've been doing this full-time. Coming up in November 11th or whatever, someday in November. I haven't marked on the calendar. I don't know. But I worked a day job and was miserable and hated my life, and ended up at a point where the company kept laying off people and laying off people and laying off people. And I would see people all around me just disappear. I worked in... I was a compliance analyst in the financial world, and I would just see the cubicles around me. This person gets laid off. This person gets laid off. This person gets laid off. And finally, they came around and laid me off. They gave me a good severance package, and I had unemployment. And I decided at that time, well, I'm going to try and see if I can make a full-time living at DJing, because even though I made incredible money doing that and had 5 weeks paid vacation and paid sick days and paid holidays and 401k matching and all that blah, 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 I was a miserable human being, and I was physically sick. Both problems with my stomach, problems with my eyes, my head, all kinds of stuff. And I decided at that point, when I crossed that bridge, that I'm going to try to DJ full time and see how that goes. And here I am, almost a decade later. Wasn't doing videos then. I think I was still making music then a little bit. But I wasn't doing videos like this. I wasn't writing articles. I wasn't doing anything in the education world whatsoever. And to look back now, here I am in the middle of this whole crazy thing with COVID and stuff, where as we move forward, we don't know what we're going to be doing as DJs down the road. In that podcast, like I said, those guys were talking about that, and they mentioned some things that they think are going to be the direction that things are going. They talked about they do not feel that the superstar DJ is they think that's gone. It's going to come back to the people who can DJ and make a floor dance, because people are going to just want to get out and have fun. And they think that it's going to be less of the specialized music, and it's going to be everything from new stuff to dropping oldies. And when I say oldies, I'm talking like 2005. Messing with you there. No, but they think it's going to be a lot of stuff like that, and I'm tended to agree with that people are going to be a lot more open to just getting out and having fun and not being so serious about, oh, the DJ didn't play my song, or when are you going to play my song next? They're just going to be like, whatever, we're here. And I think it's going to take a special mentality and a different mentality to kind of get along with that. So that is where the whole journey of tonight's conversation began and ended with me, in the title of I Never Planned on Being a DJ. And I think in the future that I'm going to do another show like this, but I'm going to bring some people on, and I would like to, I have a few people in mind, and these are going to be some DJs that are part-time DJs, some people that are full-time DJs, some people that are in the mobile DJ industry, some people are in the club industry, and kind of take a look at their mindset with their families, their lives in the midst of this, because I know I'm not the typical a person when it comes to this, because I don't have kids, I don't have a family. When lockdown happened, my life didn't change much at all, aside from that I didn't go out every single Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, plus some other days sometimes. I wasn't physically DJing out somewhere 3 to 5 nights a week. That was the only thing that changed. The rest of the time, I'm living in this studio every day. I get up, I work, I do stuff, I'm here, I exercise in the house, all that kind of stuff. My life almost didn't change at all, other than taking on some new projects, doing more streaming than I used to, because I did quite a bit of DJ streaming, but I'm doing it every week now, at least once a week. And the whole thing, like I said, is not that different for me. But for you, you might be a DJ that is looking at getting out of the business. You may be a DJ that goes, I'm going to have to take a day job. You may be a DJ that already has taken a day job. I don't know. But I want you guys to be involved with this. If you follow what, last week's show, I talked a lot about the fact that I want to do more than just, be an entertaining DJ to where I'm here going, let's talk about so-and-so and drama and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not into that. I don't want to be that. I want to be a person that educates you and encourages you. And that's what I'm kind of hoping through this. So I want to open up the chat tonight with questions that you might have oriented towards this whole mindset, whether it be looking backwards or looking forward or looking right now, looking at changing, like if you're a club DJ, you might be going, I'm just going to start doing mobile. Or if you're a mobile DJ saying, I'm going to try to do everything, anything that comes my way, I'm going to pick up karaoke. I want to hear where you guys are coming from in the middle of this, because we still don't know when things are going to go back to normal. So we kind of have to deal with it the way it is. So let me hear from you guys in the chat. I want to take a look in the chat and see who we have here. Looking at Gus here is saying, I have 2 day jobs, one full-time, one part-time, doing 11 to 12-hour days. None in the music industry since shortly after COVID started. Can't wait to start DJing again. There's a person right there that just moved forward wherever he was at, but also has a plan to get back to something he loved. And that is a beautiful thing, because like I said, I know people who are walking away from the business completely, just simply because I've always, please forgive me, but I've always said DJing is not an important job. What we do is not important. Okay, we're a luxury job. The world will continue without us, and this whole thing proves that, a laptop or an app can do our job and make people just as happy. Unless you're a personality talking on a mic, stuff like that, you can be replaced, and most likely will be. So you kind of have to think differently, and that's why I want to see where you guys are coming from. My friend Pete is in the chat tonight, by the way, and I just have to do a shout out to him. He used to, if you ever heard me in one of my shows, because I talk about it all the time in my shows, I used to DJ at a place called Perlay. It was a very high-end champagne lounge, and Pete was the owner, and he saw me DJing on this random Tuesday night at a totally different club, totally different atmosphere, and he wanted to hire me for his club because he saw the fact that on a Tuesday night, this place was slow, but yet I was still having fun and doing what I did. And he wanted someone who could have that mentality of, you don't have to have the crowd banging to get for the DJ to be a part of this. And he saw that I had fun with it, and he hired me, and I had some of my best years at Perlay. So that's a mentality of, like I said, a Tuesday night DJ who's going to be up in the club on a Tuesday night or a bar or whatever, and you never know. You just have to do what you do. Like I've always said, that our job literally is to celebrate with people, whether it's celebrating a wedding, a birthday party, a divorce, celebrating the end of a hard work week, celebrating the end of a school week, whatever. And if we can't have fun doing what we do, there is absolutely no point for us to do what we do. We need to quit, move over, and let someone else step in. All right, so we're going to keep looking at some of the comments there. Like I said, I want to hear from you guys. We're going to discuss this a little bit here. Mobile DJ, full-time teacher. This is DJ Sazon. I hope I say that correctly. I apologize. Mobile DJ, full-time teacher for high school. I used to work for a DJ company, but I'm on my own now, considering looking for a bar gig just for some continue any. Not sure. So that's like I said, that's an opposite of a person bending and doing something different, trying different things out. DJ Day and Night, thank you for tuning in. He's always in this here. I appreciate you joining in. My full-time job let us start working from home in March. DJ business is a side job, but slowly becoming a full-time, or was. We do 99% weddings. We are average DJs with good wedding skills. Your job, I think, is going to continue. I think it's going to take the wedding industry a while to get back up to full speed, just because of with the restrictions on food and stuff. I think that's what's going to hurt you guys the most. Is it's going to slow things down a little bit, but that's good. Just for a little bit of perspective, day and night. Digital DJ Tips does a survey each year, and one of the things they ask is how much money, what percentage of your income comes from DJing, and only 10% of people that fill out this survey each year, only 10% say that they make 75 to 100% of their income from DJing. Only 10. So in the industry, I look at when we go to the expo, and I look around at the few thousand or ever how many's at the expo, and go, only 10% of these guys are full time. The rest are weekend warriors on some level, or some of them are maybe not even weekend warriors. They're just people who love DJing. So it's kind of interesting. You're not far out of the norm when it comes to that. John, also, DJ John Crawley's in there. Thank you so much. He's a big supporter. He's always support me when I do my live shows. If you guys want to join me on my live shows, like I said, I do a lot of live DJ sets on Twitch and on my YouTube channel. And I try to mix it up and have a little bit of fun. We've changed some stuff up because I'm pulling off of Facebook, because as of October 1st, Facebook is really going to crack down on DJs doing live streaming. There's a good chance that you'll get your Facebook channel taken away from you, like deleted, as they said. And I don't want to do that, so I'm getting in the habit of pulling away from that. So back to John. Says large groups indoors are not permitted, 25 outside. Till then, we have very small yard pop-ups or mobile drive-bys. I thought I would get involved in more yard pop-up events myself this summer, but I just didn't hear about as many as I thought I would. I really thought that would be the norm, that every weekend there would be everywhere on that. So maybe that's something that's going to change there. John, day and night said that they're adjusting their indoor status to make some stuff outdoor, and that's good. Ontario, they said they're allowed 50 indoor, 100 outdoor. Hey, Trevor says hi. Hello. One of the weird things here in the city is that they are not letting you sell alcohol. Like for my job is the bar and club. A place cannot sell alcohol unless they also sell food. So you can't stop in, get a drink. You have to sit down at a table, order food, and you can get alcohol with your food. And they have to stop selling alcohol at 10 p.m. So that really kind of kills my job and lets absolutely no chance of anything happening whatsoever in my world for a while. Which is okay, because like I said, I'm working on some other projects. I've told you guys a few about them. It's a strange world that we all live in right now. So let me see who else is in the chat. Like I said, we were trying to do these shows as only being 30-minute shows, but last week we went over, we had some great questions. Fire some stuff off in the chat now. Even if it's not about this topic, we can talk about other things, but I definitely want to take this show to encourage you guys in the process of what you're doing, and your job is changing, and your job description is changing, or your job title might change. I want to encourage you in this to not let it get you down, because there's so much that can get us down right now. Trevor's saying we're still in complete lockdown, nothing till probably next year. Trevor, where are you at? Tell me where you're at, Trevor. I think you said that and I missed that there. Dave Wolf, thank you again. First off, Dave is another one of the regulars that's always supporting. I appreciate that. He says, looking to hire a young DJ to take over much of the music side, setup, tear down, while I focus on wedding, master, ceremony, sales, business, etc. Great thing to do. I'm telling you, every person that I know works a two-person wedding system. I think that is the most efficient thing you could ever do. I know it's not easy to do, but... Oh, Trevor, I keep forgetting. See, I know DJs by name. I'm going to get back to Dave in a second, but sorry, Trevor. Scrappa. I know DJs by DJ name. Sorry, Scrappa. And happy birthday to Scrappa. I missed you the other night. He had his 29th birthday the other night, so happy birthday. Yeah, so they're still in lockdown in Australia. Scrappa, I think they're having you on lockdown because of all the giant spiders and bugs you all have down there. I don't think it has anything to do with COVID. I think it's all those giant bugs and spiders. But back to Dave Wolf about hiring someone. I'm telling you, every person that I've seen that runs a 2-person wedding, whether it be 2 evenly matched people working together, taking turns, or a person having a specific job to do something, I see those as being some of the most efficient 2-person things. Even if it's the mic quit, hand me a 9-volt battery sort of thing, or hand me the mic that's charging over there. Anything like that, I think is good. So if you're able to find a person to do that, I encourage that a lot. Yeah, Trevor's 29th birthday. So anybody else in the chat, like I said, feel free to if you have questions about anything else, let me know. I have virtual up tonight. I have the little Newmark, not Newmark, but Hercules thing plugged in tonight. I don't have the Denon in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So in case you don't know, that 29th is like a joke. I always say that, a lady never ages past the age of 29. So for when you're doing birthdays, like 30th birthday for a lady, it's always, instead of saying happy 30th birthday, it's happy first anniversary of your 29th birthday. So it kind of looks at that way. So, like I said, feel free to shout anything out in the chat if you have any questions about that. Like I said, we've got people on both places tonight watching. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I think I'm still running on all the Facebook channels. They probably haven't kicked me off because I'm not playing any music unless my voice is copywritten, which that is entirely possible. Yeah, Dave Wolf was talking about splitting the things and each person knowing their role. That is so much... oh my gosh, that really changed the thing. CF Karaoke Entertainment asked, MJ, is it better to connect a mixer to your controller? I am a person who does not use anything but a controller. Everybody and their brother has their own mind about it. Everybody and their brother has their own opinion about it. I'm telling you, I've never done a gig that I had anything other than my controller plugged in, unless we're going back to when I had 2 individual units and a mixer in the center. Every night that I do anything, I have two going to the main, whether it be subs or a booth or whatever. Everything runs from my controller. And that's why I tell people, you go out and buy a $500 controller, you are not going to have the same sound as someone spending $1,000. I can tell you proof on this because you know that I'm a Denon person, and I had the Denon MC6000 MK2, the Denon the 6000, not the new motorized ones, but the older tiny one. And I used it at a place, and then the next time I came back, I hooked up my 7000, and I cannot begin to tell you how much better it sounded from that little old 6000 to the 7000. And right now the 7000 has been discontinued, so it's old compared to newer technologies coming out. So if you're plugging in something that's cheap, you might want to go through a mixer to help your mics and stuff sound better. But I can tell you honestly, if my 7000 running directly into QSC K12s, I won't ever need to do anything but that. But again, it's entirely up to you how you do yours, because sound is subjective. I told you guys that I'm working on a book, and one of the things I talk in there is looking at beauty in the world and how it's very subjective person to person. And I make an example of the DJ world of headphones and challenge you to find 5 DJs and get 2 or 3 of them to agree on what's the best headphone, because it's all subjective to what you like. So in that sense, whatever works for you, go with that. I appreciate that. David, thank you so much for letting me know I'm still live on Facebook. I don't think they're going to kick me off because I'm not playing any music here. Matt was asking last week about the plugin that lets you change the drive letter. And I've not used it, but I'm going to try to bring it up here and we'll see if it doesn't crash my whole system here. So we're going to Virtual's website. Make sure I'm logged in so you can't see my thing. So this might make things stutter, so I apologize if it does. Go to audio effects, make sure I'm logged in. Okay, now I'm going to share. And we're going to go to left screen, and there we go. So we're in the Virtual DJ's website, and it's under Others. And I think it's called Drive Letter. Yeah, here's the 2, and this is the driver. and it says it lets you repair playlist history files if you've changed the drive letter. And there's other simpler ways to do it, but this one does it. Like I said, I've not used it, but it can help you change. If you're putting an entire system that was on C drive onto a D drive or D to an E, this is what you would use. Hold on here, I can zoom in and move this about. There you go. So that's what you would look for. There are directions in there how to use it. I've not used it, so please don't hold me to it working perfectly. I would be the kind of person that would probably do things manual because I'm a manual kind of person. So I would probably go through and do a find all, change to sort of thing myself within the database file, which can be cumbersome and a pain in the butt. But Matt Lewis asks, I hope that answers your question, Matt. Let me know. Max Lewis says, where do you live stream your sets? Prior to the whole change in Facebook, I was streaming on 2 Facebook pages, my Facebook page and my DJ Michael Joseph Facebook page, my DJ Michael Joseph YouTube page, on Twitter via Periscope, and Twitch.tv. Since this change, what I did last week, and I'll probably do it again this week, is I'm going to tune on to Twitch.tv/DJ Michael Joseph and YouTube.com/DJ Michael Joseph, and then also my Facebook page. But I'm only on the Facebook page long enough to do the intro, tell people what's going on, join me over on the other 2, and then I shut off Facebook and continue the night on Twitch.tv and YouTube.com/DJ Michael Joseph. And that's where I usually do them for. Usually 2-hour sets. And, if I'm having fun, like last week, we dropped into like this 80s and 90s set, and I really enjoyed it, so I kind of stayed there for a while. DJ The Dawn said, when did virtual 2020 become 2021? Just noticed mine was now 21. DJ The Dawn, you are always a part of my shows, and I thoroughly appreciate you. And what I'm about to say, I hope that it does not insult you. But what rock have you been living under? I don't mean that insultingly. Please forgive me. But holy crap, it was a huge deal. And I'll tell you why I think it happened the way it did. And this was, if you go on to Disc Jockey News' YouTube page, youtube.com/Disc Jockey News, and do a search for Virtual DJ 2021, you will see my video that I put out on the day it was. I don't remember what day it was. But Algorithms DJ said that they put out a new update to their program saying we have the ability to do stems, which means a stem is basically that it takes a song and splits it apart to where you can pull the vocals out or pull the music out or whatever. And Virtual already had that ability because all you had to do was drag a VST in there, and VSTs that you would use in Ableton or anything like that, and you are able to do that there. But Virtual just said, okay, if you're going to do that, the same day Virtual said, we're releasing 2021, and all 2021 was the 64-bit version of 2020 with the Stems plugin. And that Stems plugin, along with a lot of other plugins Virtual uses, is 64-bit only. And that was the changeovers when they did that. So basically, you have to download. I mean, you can, trust me, you can get the 32 if you need it, but they're mainly wanting everyone to go to the 64-bit, and the 64-bit is 2021. And like I said, it's not a new program. It's not a big change. It's the fact that they had to go to the 64-bit to add stems. So they just went, let's just swing that barn door wide open and go to town. But that's been out for quite a while. Dave Wolf talks about that he uses a mixer for his mic control, less feedback at weddings. Okay. Day and Night says, are you somehow affiliated with Denon, or do you just really like their stuff? I know we were spinning for Denon. I know you were spinning. Oh, I was spinning at X-Moto a few years ago. It's an odd thing that Denon, it's 5 or 6 years ago now, did a thing that they were having people come and talk about if they wanted to become a certified Denon DJ. And basically that means you knew a lot about Denon to talk about it and get your little certification, which I did. And I just became friends with them. They helped me out with stuff. They helped me when I had a fader go on my controller. They gave me a new fader, and they help me out with stuff all the time. I get t-shirts from them. I'm not official. If you want to talk to an official Denon DJ, then you have to talk to my friend DJ Melissa Nikita. She's the real deal. I mean, the real deal. I mean, worldwide famous. I keep joking that I want to get her autograph, even though we've DJed together and hung out and talked. It's still my silliness, but she's the real deal. I would like to be that far, but I don't ever imagine at my age, the style that I do, how I look. I don't think a company would ever want to involve me that far, just because the business is a lot about looks, and I don't have that right now, at my age. So hope that answers your question there. Matt Wiley says, yeah, it's cool. I was trying to find out through Virtual Found it. JC Mars says, my Virtual DJ kit's missing my BPM. Is there a way to fix that? I could not tell you what's going on there, JC, because I've been using Virtual for over a decade, and it's never missed anything ever. So my first question is, when you're saying messing your BPM, I'm asking, is the song a song that has a variable BPM? Is that why it's missing it? Or what's going on with that? Try to be a little bit more specific if you could, because like I said, I never have had a single problem with it ever. John was saying something about Restream. They require Facebook to log info, I imagine, in prep. Yeah, I have to log in with stuff on that. Jimmy, hey Jimmy, what's going on? How are you? John Colley, like I said, John is a supporter of mine. Shows up at a lot of stuff that I do, online. And he was making a joke that tonight the Country Music Awards are on, and he was wondering how, what am I going to watch and who am I rooting for? And I made a quick comment back, because those of you know that I hate country music. I said, and the winner for the best country music song, the winner for the worst country music song is Everyone. Hashtag country music sucks. So, so that was all. John said he was doing some of that stuff. So far, he said 2020 has sucked. They decided to move ahead to next year. A lot of people are planning ahead next year. Their mindset is working ahead. Joe Bazina says, can you have Virtual DJ 8 and 2021 on the same machine? You absolutely can, because 8 is a 32-bit. Well, 8 also has a 64-bit. I don't know where it's at now, but you got to remember that 7 was day and night different from 8. They were literally two different programs. Then when you get to 8, the only separation became 64-bit or 32-bit. And that went from 8 to 18 to 20 to 21. It's generally the same program with updates and changes. It isn't like a whole new program when we went from Virtual DJ 7 to Virtual DJ 8. Those are two totally different programs. So the problem now that everyone is having is the fact that 2021 is a 64-bit only program, and it will only run 64-bit plugins, and it will only work on 64-bit machines running a 64-bit operating system. Mac, I think it was 5 years ago, said that everything that goes into a Mac has to be 64-bit. So that wasn't a hard thing for the Mac guys. But the Windows guys who are using Windows 7 or 8, and people did tell me that they had a 64-bit version of Windows 8, and it worked. But it has to be Windows 10 and a 64-bit version of Windows 10 to make that work. That was the big changeover. So, yes, you can have them both. Looking down the things here. Where would you go to get service on the MC8000? I would have to look it up, but I went through when I was having problems with buttons on one, because you got to understand, I go through headphones and equipment fast, because like I said, I'm DJing 3 to 4 nights a week, plus I'm in the studio doing stuff. So there are many hours a week my equipment. It isn't like I'm going out for a couple hours just pressing play. I'm mixing and pushing and stuff every minute. So every minute there's a new song. Every minute and a half there's a new song. So mine gets worn out a lot. And I went through one of the official Denon ones. I don't know if I can look it up. It may kill... Here, I'll do it. Try to do this while we're talking. It may, in the search of all this, it may kind of overload the system, because I'm going to search to see if I can find the company that did that. See if I can find it here. And they were really good. Cost me about $270 because they replaced a lot of buttons. They really did. Who was it here? There it is. Is that the invoice? It was done by, I have it here, TSI, Tech, TECHNI -Serve, TechniServe Industries LLC. They're out of New Jersey. and they are an official Denon company, official Denon repair place. So you can go other places and get them done, but they're an official. So it's TSI, or it's TECHNI dash Serve, SERVE Industries LLC. And that's who I had do all the work on mine. So hope that helps. Looking down here. Why is the volume slider on virtual flicker? I'm going to guess that is a problem with your slider, because I've seen that issue only on controllers that have bad sliders or a cheap controller. It's not a norm. I've never had it happen to me ever. But if you have a, I'm sorry, I had it happen in 7 because I had the original Denon 6000 MK1, and it ended up getting a bad fader on it, and that started doing that. So what it's doing is when that channel or fader or whatever you're doing is losing connection between the two contacts, that's what will cause that. Somebody sent a thing about asking for help with missing BPMs. If you can describe that to me, what you mean by that, because it doesn't make any sense to me about missing BPMs. Like to me, when you say missing BPMs, meaning that it's skipping beats on you or something, or is it just not lining up? So help me out with that. I clicked on that link. I didn't see anything there. Let me know precisely, and maybe I can help, but maybe not. Yeah, Dave says they need to get Denon to sponsor us. Hey, I'm always up for working with Denon. They're a bunch of great guys, every single one of them. From the guys who, I've spoken with the guys who literally have their names on the patents for that stuff, and they're all incredible guys. Right now, from what I understood, across the industry, whether it be Denon, Pioneer, Newmark, any of them, they've dropped about 30 to 40% of their staff because of what's going on right now. And I'm sure when things get back to normal, they'll hire that many back. But for right now, all those companies are kind of running on skeleton crew right now. Again, I hear MIK and VDJ have different BPMs when analyzing in each program. Like I said, I have no problems with anything. Every BPM that I've ever done matches perfectly. I've never had a problem ever, so there's got to be something that's going on in your thing. So I'm not sure. Jimmy, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Anybody who's watching on Facebook has to read that. It's a country music comment, and I'm with you, but I'm going to try not to be negative on country tonight. I said my country piece, and I'm moving on there. Oh, JC's talking about when you're analyzing BPM, it doubles the values. You can fix that with virtual in one little step. Okay, so we're going left screen cropped, and I'm going to open up this menu, and I'm sorry, I'm going to look at this right here, and you're going to right click, and you're going to go tag editor, and right here in the tag editor, it's going to read something, because especially if it's like a 60 BPM, it might double it. So it gives you a button here to switch to double or half, whatever you want it to be. And that's all that's doing. Is it's because nights when I'm out DJing, I will spin a song that is at 70 BPM and beat match it with a song that's 135 BPM, because mathematically you can do that. And that's all you have to do to determine what you want it to be, because there are some that will read that double, and I don't want that to be double, so I always pull mine off on that. So that's all that's doing, and that's a one-button changeover for you there. Like I said, Joe, you just have to look them up online and do that. I closed out that screen, so I can't tell where they're at in New Jersey, but just look them up by that name. Go back on demand and watch when the video's over, and you can see me say the name again, and go look them up there. Crossfaders go first on everything, unless you put an InnoFader in there. An InnoFader is awesome, and I wanted to put an InnoFader on mine, but Virtual gave me a fader for free, so that's why I went that way. I'm like, okay, you want to give it to me free? Awesome. CF Karaki talks about this. Everybody asks me about this. This is not a headset mic combo. It is a cheap thing called Headset Buddy. Move Mic Headset Buddy. I bought it on Amazon for about $20, and it's meant to attach to a headphones, with a little bit of a attachment, and come down off of there. And I made got an around the head thing to put it in there, and attached it to that. And the weird thing is that I'm running a Behringer 302 USB microphone, and this is what it sounds like with everything flat. This is the mic, everything flat, and I run it with both the high and the low maxed out, and that's how I get this sound from it. It's not anything special. Yeah, like I said, it's $20. I think it's called Move Mic Headset Buddy. I think it's on Amazon for about $20 here. Pete asked about B&W speakers, any good for home use? Again, when it comes to speakers, stuff like that, it's all to the person's point of view, because if you knew how cheap and old my studio speakers are, you would probably go, wait, aren't you a professional? But I love the sound of these. These are perfect for me. I do spend most of my time working in the studio with either Pioneer headphones or KRK Studio headphones. So there is a difference there depending on what I'm mixing. The KRK Studio headphones give me a very flat kind of sound, but when I want to listen, I put the Pioneers on to give me the more bass. So it's up to you. I can't say what's a good and bad, because I think it, again, depends upon the person and your ear, especially when it comes to sound. Just head up for you and other CCI websites that they are closed due to COVID as of April and will not be reopening. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So what I'm going to tell you to do if you need to get a repair, go to the Denon website and chat with one of their people, and they will tell you a list of places, or there might even be a list of places on the Denon website to where you can get it repaired. Or go to the Denon forum website. I keep telling people, Denon's forums, Serato's forums, Pioneer's forums, Virtual's forums, all are great places to go and get help. Check with them about places to get stuff repaired. You will find all the answers there. DJing a wedding in 2 weeks. I'm doing a wedding about every 2 to 3 weeks. Awesome. That's good to see you working there. Pete said he got some speakers, special audio, 2 rack units. Yeah, Pete was trying to sell me the rack, or give me the rack units earlier today. And to answer the question, like you guys asked earlier, what do I hook up to my speakers? I hook nothing up to my speakers. So a rack unit and all that just doesn't serve anything that I do. And I kind of have a rule that if I can't do an event and take everything I need in on one trip on one cart, I won't take the gig, because I'm just not interested in being that guy that sets up all kinds of stuff. And Pete in the chat saying he did give me, and I do have them, the good is it KRK, the Rocket 5s or the Rocket 7s or the Rocket 8s, one of the two he gave me, and they were just too big for the studio. It was more than, because my studio is small. You're seeing a wide angle thing. Trust me, this studio is not that big, and they were just too much for the studio. I tried them, so they're on hold. Like I said, I planned on moving in this year, 2020, but with COVID, I'm not moving. In the process, when I move, I'll build a bigger studio, and trust me, I will put those to use and then some. DJ Mikey Mike says that California is still on lockdown for the most part. Yeah. Dave Wolf says he has the Bode 901s in the basement. Any idea on direct Pioneer repair? Again, go to Pioneer's website or go to Pioneer's forum and ask people. I think I found out about the Denon repair because I went to the Denon website and was able to chat with a Denon person, and they gave me a list of places to get it repaired, and I picked one. I think that's what happened. So you might have to do that with the Pioneer also. Or there may be a local place. If you're lucky, you might have a local place that repairs stuff like that. I know we don't here in Pittsburgh. If you want to get 1200s worked on, you can get some serious work done on Technique 1200s here in the city, because there's a couple places that do incredible work on them, but no controllers. Joe says he has the Rocket 6s, perfect size. Yeah, talking about California, outside 25% capacity, inside seating at restaurants, and no dancing in venues, all that kind of stuff. All right, so we were going to take this show, and it was supposed to be a half-hour show. And after last week, you guys just asked a lot of great questions, and that's why I just kept it going. I didn't want to pull this week. I just kind of wanted to see how it all went. So I think it was good. I think we touched on a lot of stuff. Like I said, my mindset looking at the fact that it's funny for me looking at that I'm here as a DJ full time. I work for Disc Jockey News, and I'm doing videos a couple times a week for them. I go to the expos for them, but yet I don't look at DJing like it's my everything. I'm not the typical guy. I don't live and breathe for DJing. If something happens in the DJ world, I'm not losing my mind over it. It's just I think I have a big interest in a lot of the technology that's in the DJ world, the software. I think it's why I lean towards virtual, because of all the customization. I think it's why I lean towards using controllers, because the customization, a lot of stuff like that. And I think that's what has pulled me towards this, because it is a field in which I can diversify my geekiness when it comes to programs and hardware and different things like that, where I maybe another area I wouldn't be able to diversify as much, because I get to work with computers here, and I do editing within computers, and being able to order, like my DJ computer, we've talked about that I had special built from Lenovo. So I think that's why I lean towards a lot of this, that it's just so all encompassing for me. But it is what it is. And right now, technically I'm an unemployed DJ, like many of you. But who knows, as the future moves forward, that's why I do my live streams. If you watch the live streams, you hear me talk a lot. That it isn't about, getting attention. Hey, look at me, look what I can do. It's about staying practiced, because when I get the call to go back, I want to be ready to go back. I don't want to be able to, I want to step in there and not skip a beat. I want to have all the songs. I want to have my mixing up to skill. I want to have my mentality up to skill, confidence, and all the stuff I do. And that's why I do that, because if I get that chance to move forward, I want to be ready, because I'm telling you, in my past, there are times when like I said, I used to be a vocal performer, and I can't tell you how many times I got bumped up to a more prime performance spot, a more of a headliner spot, simply because I was ready. Where other people were supposed to go on, they're not showing up, they're late, they're not ready. Somebody like, MJ, you ready? Yep. And they put me on the main spot, just simply because I was ready. And that is what I think a lot of this in the industry is going to be when we go back. All the people who are phone-in DJs are looking at their life going, I don't want to go out of, if this ever happens again, I don't want to lose my job again. But those of us who do what we do are just going to step in and do what we do and do it well. So again, thank you guys again for all the positive stuff. I hope you checked out the past 2 nights. Disc Jockey News had their little I can't say that word, DJNTV DJ talks, because we're not going to say the other word because it's copywritten. But they're 10-minute videos that a lot of people did, and they have them on for Monday night and Tuesday night. I think there was about 20 different presenters, and John is slowly putting them on one at a time. So each person's 10-minute video you'll be able to see soon. But go and check those out, because there was a whole plethora of great information on there. I had a video on there where I talked about how to curate a better music library. And it was kind of neat to look back, because I remember sitting and writing that. I was actually at Pete, who's in the chat tonight. I was at his house writing that months ago, stressed and worried about what am I going to say, and hope I say it in a positive way. But go check those out. It's definitely, like I said, it's neat to see what other DJs have in mind out there. And the majority of the presenters that did that, there's a lot of those that are part-time DJs also. They're not full-time people, but they're putting their heart and soul into what they do, and they want to share what they've learned. Go check it out. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. Again, we also have a chill-out room. We started it when the lockdown started. It gives DJs a place to hang out. It is DJNTV.com/chill room. And Robin, just thank you, Robin. Robin is such a step ahead of me there in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, she just put it in the YouTube chat, DJNTV.com/chill. It's a chill out room. It's not about going and mixing. It's not about, hey, look at me. It's just DJs talking about anything. I've been in there one night where they were talking about what's your first car you ever had. So there's a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with the DJ world, but, there's some stuff we talk about the DJ world, but it's a great place you can hang out. It doesn't cost a darn thing. Again, DJNTV.com/chill. Check out all the stuff that I have going on. I do DJ classes online, and I'm working. I told you guys that I was going to have the group classes up soon. It will be very soon that I'm going to be doing those, and they will cost a lot less than a full-blown class, but you can take the full-blown class that involves anything you want to learn. I had a person hire me a while back to help them program buttons, because I do all the MIDI mapping, and they wanted certain MIDI mapping stuff. And that's what I did, is I helped them program that. And it wasn't necessarily a class on education. It was, I set them up, with some of the buttons that I program, that I do, and help them out with the things that they wanted. So the class can be anything you want whatsoever. hit me up about that. If you have any questions, check out all my social media. I post stuff all the time. I posted some stuff. I do most of my stuff on the story mode on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Not the news feed where you see it, but the thing that only lasts for 24 hours. And I posted some behind-the-scenes stuff from prior to the show tonight. You might enjoy seeing that. Last question here before I head out. Asked me, what's new about Virtual DJ 8 2021? Go to discjockeynews.com and go to their site on, not Disc Jockey News, but youtube.com/Disc Jockey News. Look for Disc Jockey News' channel on YouTube and search for Virtual DJ 2021. And I've done at least 6 videos since they released 2021 on all the stuff about it, the new stuff, etc. And that's why they're there, so that you guys can go and learn. And like I said, any topic that you might have an idea for, go and look and see if we've already done a video on it, because there's a very good chance we have. Hit me up with any topics that you guys might have, because I'm always up for that kind of stuff. Most of my shows come from you guys, so I appreciate that. So until next time, this half-hour show has gone a full hour, and I thank you all, every single one of you from Facebook and YouTube and everything, from tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, it blows my mind that I get to spend this time with you all over the world, the viewers that we have, and it means so much to me. As we go in these times, I encourage you to be kind to each other, help each other out, because we are not going to get through this world if we backbite and backstab and cheat and lie. We have to put our cards on the tables and be there for each other, heads up, hand in hand, and that's all there is to it. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other, because it is a crazy world out there. God bless.